I want to show you a simple calculation. It's back of the napkin math that takes 10 seconds, but it changed how I view wealth forever. And I guarantee you, the absolute majority of people in this country, from the janitor to the surgeon, have never had the courage to do it. The result of this calculation explains, with brutal and mathematical precision, why some people escape poverty and build empires, while others remain trapped, running on the hamster wheel until death, regardless of how much money they make a year. Take the total amount you managed to save and invest last year. Be honest. The money you actually kept, not what you spent. Now, take that number and divide it by 365. The result of that division represents exactly how much you are paying yourself per day. It is your daily sovereignty salary. For the overwhelming majority of Americans, that number is somewhere between $0 and $20. For millions of workers, including executives earning six-figure salaries, driving European cars, and wearing Swiss watches, that number hits 0. Or worse, it's negative. They are losing money every single day to sustain an illusion. Now do the reverse exercise. Think of the wealthiest, freest person you know personally. I'm not talking about an internet billionaire or an heir. I'm talking about a flesh and blood person who built their own fortress from scratch and whose hand you've shaken. If you calculate their daily savings rate during their wealth-building years, the number is probably somewhere between $100 and $500 per day. Every day. The gap, the unbridgeable abyss between these two numbers, explains almost everything about real-world financial outcomes. It isn't about your intelligence. The world is full of broke geniuses paying rent. It isn't about your luck. Luck is a lightning strike, but it doesn't hold the house up. It isn't about your connections. It is exclusively about the daily deposit you make into your future self's account. Here's what makes this so powerful and why your mind has been sabotaged by the traditional financial system. The time frame you use to think about money completely changes your psychology. If I tell you you need to save $36,500 this year, your reptilian brain panics. It sounds impossible. It sounds like a mountain you don't have the gear to climb. You give up before taking the first step. But if I say you need to save $100 a day, your brain processes this differently. Does it sound difficult? Yes. But it sounds possible. It sounds like something within your reach if you make tactical choices over the next 24 hours. They are exactly the same number, but one feels like a divine punishment, while the other feels like an operational challenge. I am Buck, and this video is not friendly advice. It is a survival manual. We are in 2026. Inflation is corroding the purchasing power of currency. Artificial intelligence is rewriting the job market overnight. The global economy is a minefield. If you keep operating with your parents' mentality, you are going to get massacred. This video is about rebuilding your financial life around daily actions. I'm not talking about cute monthly budgets on colorful spreadsheets that you abandon in the second week. I'm not talking about New Year's resolutions that die in February. I'm talking about a daily combat system that compounds and multiplies, whether you are motivated or not, whether life is easy or hard, whether the economy cooperates or collapses. By the end of this briefing, I'm going to hand you a tactical 5-step daily protocol that makes staying poor genuinely difficult. Not because of mystical willpower, but because the system itself produces results automatically and unbreakably. Before I hand you the weapons, I need to explain why the tactic you've been taught until today is suicide. Why does the monthly budget fail 90% of the time? Because of a flaw in human neurology related to the feedback loop. The monthly budget has a stupidly long feedback cycle. You make dozens of small spending decisions over 30 days, and you only sit down to review the damage once, at the end of the month, when the credit card bill hits your inbox like a grenade. By that time, the damage is done. And worse, you've forgotten why you made those decisions. You don't remember what you were feeling on the 12th when you bought that junk on Amazon. The monthly budget becomes not a tool for control, but an autopsy of a corpse. It becomes a scorecard of your failures, And what do humans do when something only brings them pain and guilt? They abandon it. Annual financial planning is even worse. Real life moves infinitely faster than annual cycles. The goal set in the optimism of January becomes an irrelevant joke in March when you get a flat tire or the fridge burns out. The plan sits in a drawer while the daily war rages outside. The system I am going to teach you triumphs because it creates incredibly tight feedback loops. You fight one day at a time. If you make a mistake on Tuesday, the system self-corrects on Wednesday morning. You don't wait 30 days to discover you are bleeding. More than that, the daily system cures the disease of avoidance. Avoidance is the #1 behavioral pattern of people being financially crushed. They don't check their banking app. They ignore collection letters. They're terrified to open the credit card statement. Why? Because looking at the numbers causes stress. It's like having a lump on your body and avoiding the doctor out of fear of the diagnosis. But avoidance is exactly what feeds the tumor. It is the darkness that allows compound interest to destroy your life. The debt grows. The anguish increases. The avoidance deepens. It's a death spiral. Buck's protocol breaks this spiral by force. It drags the monster into the sunlight every single day until the monster loses the power to scare you. Let's get to the protocol. It takes 23 minutes a day. That is less time than you spend scrolling the idiot feed on TikTok. The absolute foundation of wealth building in 2026 rests on an action that takes exactly 60 seconds. I call this the morning perimeter reconnaissance, or the money minute. This single habit, which takes less time than brushing your teeth, generates more financial progress than hours of complex spreadsheets ever could. Here is your first order of the day. Every morning, before checking work email, before opening social media to see other people's fake lives, before turning on the news to see the world's misery, you are going to open your primary financial app and look at 3 numbers, and only 3 numbers. Available ammo, your checking account balance, what you have liquid. Enemy force, your total debt balance on credit cards, loans. The fortress, your investment account balance. You will not analyze, you will not open spreadsheets. You will not beat yourself up for spending yesterday. You will not panic, you will just observe. Like a general looking at the battlefield map before coffee. Sounds almost stupidly simple, doesn't it? But the impact this has on your neurochemistry is profound and devastating. When you observe a metric daily, your brain, the most advanced survival machine in the universe, starts treating it as an alpha priority. Financial numbers checked once a month are abstract. They don't feel real. Financial numbers checked every day become tangible, immediate, and vital. Your subconscious starts optimizing your life to improve those numbers, even when you aren't actively thinking about them. The fact that it is the first thing in the morning is crucial. It sets the mental frame for every decision you will make in the next 12 hours. When you've just looked eye to eye at your $5,000 debt at 7 a.m., that impulse buy of a $15 gourmet coffee at 2 p.m. tastes different. The friction increases. When you've just seen your investment account balance grow, the decision to bring lunch from home instead of eating out connects to something tactical and palpable. It is no longer deprivation, it's ammo going into your fortress. Perimeter reconnaissance creates an invisible line, a steel wire, connecting your daily micro-decisions to your final destiny. After 2 weeks of doing this, the numbers lose their heavy emotional charge. They stop being a moral judgment on your worth as a human being and become what they truly are. Logistical information. This emotional neutrality allows you to reason coldly, like a financial sniper. Tomorrow morning, 60 seconds. 3 numbers. No excuses. Now we enter the attack phase, where real money is forged. The second daily habit is what I call 24-hour tactical extraction. To understand the power of this, you need to understand a concept 99% of the population ignores. Every day, rivers of money flow through your life. Money arrives via your paycheck, side hustle, a refund, a bonus. and it mercilessly departs via taxes, bills, invisible subscriptions, interest, and impulse purchases. Most civilians let this flow happen passively. They open the floodgates and wait. At the end of the month, they try to scrape the bottom of the barrel and save what's left. Guess what's left at the end of the month? Absolutely nothing. The modern world is perfectly calibrated to extract every cent from your account if you put it off until later. Tactical extraction flips this dynamic and puts you in command of the operation. Instead of saving the scraps from the battlefield, you loot your own money before the enemy reaches it. You capture the wealth first. The mechanics are idiotically simple and must be automated. You will set up an automatic daily transfer from your checking account, the battlefield, to a separate, hard-to-access investment account, like a brokerage or high-yield savings account, your Swiss vault. This transfer happens every single day. Holidays, Sundays, it doesn't matter. The amount? Start with something that doesn't hurt you. It can be incredibly small. $15, $20, $10 even. The amount doesn't matter in the first month. The consistency of the extraction is what will reconfigure your DNA. Let me explain the psychology of invisible theft and why the daily contribution destroys the monthly contribution. If you try to transfer $600 at once on payday to your brokerage, your brain triggers a red alarm called loss aversion. You see a giant hole in your balance. You enter a state of scarcity. You think, wow, what if I need this money? What if a tire blows out? Often, you cancel the transfer or reduce it. But if you set up an extraction of $20 a day, it's invisible. It flies completely under your reptilian brain's radar. The checking account balance barely moves. The loss aversion alarm doesn't trigger. There's no emotional friction. The transfer happens silently in the shadows. And at the end of the month, you captured the same $600 without fighting a willpower battle against yourself. Furthermore, daily extraction smooths out the instability of your income. If you're paid bi-weekly or self-employed, a large monthly transfer might hit on a day your cash is dry, causing overdrafts and bank fees. Daily extraction distributes a load across the entire cycle, like a constant IV drip. Let's do the battlefield math so you understand the caliber of this weapon. Let's say you start a harmless extraction of $15 a day. At the end of the first year, that's nearly $5,500 automatically captured. At a 7% average market return, that turns into almost $5,850. In 10 years, contributing $15 a day, you have over $82,000. In 20 years, over $240,000. $15. That's the price of a fast food meal with fries. Now, assume you aren't a loser, and your income will increase over time. You start at $15 and increase the extraction by a mere $5 annually. Year 1, $15 per day. Year 2, $20 per day. Year 8, $50 per day. If you maintain this military discipline for 20 years, this simple, invisible daily gear will have accumulated over $400,000. Nearly $500,000 extracted from the shadows automatically without blowing any budget, purely through the colossal power of zero friction. The morning handles wealth capture. The evening handles perimeter defense. The third habit is the daily casualty audit, or sunset spending review. Every night before shutting down, you will dedicate exactly 2 minutes to review where your money bled that day. The goal here is not to whip yourself with guilt. Guilt is a useless emotion for soldiers. The goal is tactical observation and classification. Open your credit card app. Look at the transactions from the last 24 hours. For each one, you will make a quick, cold mental classification. Was this intentional or reactive? An intentional expense was planned. The electric bill, gas to get to work, the month's supplies. It is the necessary logistics to keep the machine running. A reactive expense was emotional. It was Uber Eats ordered out of stress. It was clothes bought out of anxiety. It was useless junk from Instagram bought out of boredom. This daily audit conquers what the monthly spreadsheet never will. It captures the emotional context of your financial failure while the wound is still hot. If you review your statement in 30 days, you won't remember why the hell you bought that. But tonight, you remember perfectly well that you were exhausted from work, your boss chewed you out, your dopamine levels plummeted, and you used online shopping as a painkiller. After 2 weeks of auditing, your trigger pulls become glaringly obvious. You realize, I burn money reactively every Wednesday because it's the heaviest meeting day. I spend money when I'm bored on Sunday night. Once you map the enemy territory in your own mind, you can set ambushes. You replace the painkiller of buying stuff with going for a heavy workout, or a run, or sleeping. 2 minutes a night. Stop the bleeding. The fourth protocol is sharpening the bayonet, skill investment. This might seem counterintuitive in a financial manual, but it is heavy artillery. For 15 minutes a day religiously, you will invest in something that raises your earnings ceiling. Your income is coldly the market value of your skills, your technical knowledge, and your network. Increase any of these three, and your market price goes up. You don't get rich just by cutting expenses. Restriction has a mathematical floor 0. Offense, your income, has no ceiling. 15 focused minutes a day. Reading about negotiation tactics, learning a new IT skill, studying annual reports in your industry. 15 minutes a day turns into over 90 hours of high-performance study a year. Put two professionals starting at age 25 side by side. Soldier A spends the evening consuming Netflix and complaining. Soldier B dedicates a paltry 15 daily minutes to intentional tactical improvement. In 10 years, Soldier A is an obsolete dinosaur, terrified of layoffs. Soldier B has accumulated over 900 hours of elite expertise. Soldier B is the guy negotiating his own salary and having headhunters chase him. The 15 minutes are the difference between being the pawn and owning the board. The fifth and final habit ties the whole system together. It is the tomorrow battle order, tomorrow optimization. Before laying your head on the pillow, you will spend the last 3 minutes of your day planning the tactical behavior for the next day. Identify the traps. Tomorrow I have a team lunch. It's a risk for reactive spending. My order is to order the lunch special and drink water. Tomorrow my 15 bayonet minutes will be focused on Chapter 3 of my sales training. My $20 extraction is already armed to fire. This isn't motivational planning. This utilizes a proven psychological weapon called implementation intention. Research proves that people who specify the when, where, and how they will execute an action are 3 times more likely to act than those who just have a vague desire. The civilian's vague intention. I'll try not to spend too much tomorrow. The civilian fails. The soldier's implementation intention. Tomorrow, I will bring my coffee from home, I will cancel the 3 p.m. Starbucks run, and my daily extraction goes straight to the brokerage account. You wake up in the morning and your brain already knows the script. Decision fatigue is completely bypassed. You don't have to use willpower to resist the coffee shop because the decision not to go was already made and signed the night before. 3 minutes at night save hundreds of dollars the next day. When you combine the 5 protocols, you have a total time investment of a mere 23 daily minutes. And herein lies the supreme secret of this method. The most profound change isn't the accumulated money, as insane as that value is over 20 years. The supreme change is the mutation of your identity. People who make monthly budgets operate with the identity of a broke person who is trying to save. It is painful and restrictive. People who run the daily protocol for 100 days straight undergo a code rewrite in their brain. You stop being someone who tries to save money. You become, in your non-negotiable essence, a wealth builder. And when your identity changes, behavior happens on autopilot. The visceral question becomes, does this impulse buy align with my empire under construction? Is this worthy of the soldier I am? Identity carries the actions on its back. You don't give up when life gets hard because these tactics are no longer something you do. They are who you are. Let me lay reality on your table. We are in 2026. Technology has removed practically all the mechanical friction from these habits. Invisible automated transfers, real-time banking apps, free or cheap knowledge on your phone screen. Today, the only barrier, the only thing keeping you from becoming unbearably rich and armored, is your own choice to remain passive. The economy this year is going to be savage. Unemployment, market volatility, political hysteria, monthly budgets and annual plans won't save you. They turn to dust as soon as the crisis hits. Only tactical daily habits provide the resilience of a tank. The absolute majority of people who hear this manifesto will do absolutely nothing. They will find the ideas interesting, and tomorrow they will go back to bleeding money in the same invisible prison. But a small minority will take action in the next 60 seconds. And for this elite troop, I have the final ammo. Everything I taught you here is the mental structure. It's the skeleton of the operation. But to fight a 365-day war without getting lost in the crossfire, you need the detailed tactical map. That is exactly why I compiled the tactics for survival and financial domination into our Special Operations Manual. I call it the Order of the Day, 365 high-impact actions for your financial sovereignty. It aligns to the millimeter with everything we discussed here. It is a system designed to be executed day after day. How to structure your armored accounts and create the perfect tactical extraction flow. The psychological weapons to audit your night spending and slaughter credit card debt once and for all through aggressive negotiation. The best paths for your 15 daily minutes of building intellectual capital. The enlistment link is right down below in the description and the first pinned comment. The price you will pay for this manual is pathetic compared to what you throw away on a single weekend of reactive consumption. Grab your phone right now. Set an alarm for tomorrow morning. Name it, the Money Minute, the beginning. That action takes 10 seconds, but it carves your intention into stone. Tomorrow, when the alarm goes off, you will remember my voice. You will take control of your perimeter. The system is in your hands. You have the vault blueprint. The ammo is in the description. Keep your numbers cold, your shield high, and your soul free. I am Buck, and I will see you in the trenches tomorrow morning.